Smart One Marketing, igniting your potential.
You know, the marketing world of 2026 is literally being built as we speak. So if your strategy is still stuck in yesterday's tactics, well, you're already falling behind. To get you way ahead of the curve, we've boiled down all the essential moves into a super clear 5-step playbook. So let's dive in. First, you've got to ask yourself this question. Is your marketing plan actually built for the future? Or is it stuck in the past? Because we're talking about a world that's being completely reshaped by AI, a massive shift in data privacy, and totally new consumer behaviors. The old ways, they just aren't going to cut it anymore. So here are the 5 essential plays you need to make to not just survive, but actually thrive. Okay, play number 1. Every great strategy, and I mean every single one, starts with a clear destination. This is all about setting your North Star, that one powerful goal that's going to guide every decision, every campaign, and every dollar you spend. Without it, you're kind of just guessing in the dark, right? And the absolute best way to define that North Star is with the SMART goals framework. You've probably heard of it: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Because think about it, a marketing plan without goals like these isn't really a plan at all. It's just a wish list. SMART goals give you that crystal clear destination and, just as important, a way to actually track your progress. And this comparison just shows the power of clarity perfectly. I mean, increase social media engagement, what does that even mean? But increase followers with our target audience on Facebook by 20% over the next 6 months. Now that is a concrete plan. It gives your team a specific target, a number to hit, and a deadline. That is what an actionable strategy looks like. So once you've got your goals, you need the right fuel to get there. And that brings us to our second play, which honestly is an absolute game changer. As the entire industry shifts to protect user privacy, the way you collect and use data has to change. It's time to stop renting data and start owning it. For years, marketers have relied on third-party cookies, which is basically just borrowed data from other websites, to figure out who their customers are. But that era, it's over. The future is all about first-party data. This is the info you collect directly from your own audience, through your own website, your app, or your email list. It's way more accurate, it's privacy-friendly, and it gives you a direct line to your customers that nobody else can control. And this is not some niche trend we're talking about. A huge 52.6% of marketers already say that their own website engagement metrics are the single most valuable source of data for making decisions. The takeaway here is so clear. Your own data is your most powerful asset, period. So what can you actually do with all this data? Well, it's not just about following the rules, it's about being a way smarter marketer. You can build these incredibly detailed personas to really understand your customer. You can tailor your messaging so it feels like you're speaking their language. You can find new audiences that look just like your best customers. And you can put your ad dollars exactly where they're going to have the most impact. All right, let's talk about play number 3, AI. And please, forget the tired old idea of robots taking over our jobs. The smart way to think about AI is as your indispensable co-pilot. It's a powerful partner that can analyze, predict, and optimize, freeing you up to focus on the big picture strategy and creativity that, we humans do best. As David Fortino from Netline puts it here, AI's real superpower isn't just spitting out another blog post. It's about combing through all that first-party data you're collecting and finding the hidden patterns, those surprising customer behaviors and insights that you might have totally missed. That's what turns data into a real strategic advantage. And we are already seeing this happen all over the place. AI is now the engine behind the most sophisticated marketing strategies out there. It's powering everything from hyper-specific audience segmentation to predictive analytics that can literally forecast how well a campaign will do. It's not a nice to have anymore, it's a core part of the modern marketer's toolkit. So, how can you start using your AI copilot like today? Well, here's a simple 4-step flight plan. First, use it for ideation to bust through any creative blocks. Second, lean on it for segmentation to find those perfect little niche audiences. Third, let it drive personalization at a scale you could never, ever do manually. And finally, use its predictive power to optimize your campaigns on the fly. Okay, so now you've got clear goals, you've got rich data in a powerful AI copilot. So, where do you put them to work? That brings us to our 4th play, diversification. In today's super fragmented digital world, if you're putting all your eggs in one or two baskets, like just search and social, you are missing huge segments of your audience. I mean, just look at this chart. Programmatic digital audio, that's just a fancy way of saying automated ad buying for things like podcasts and music streaming, is projected to become a massive $2.59 billion market by 2026. This is just one example of a channel that's growing like crazy, where your audience is spending more and more time. The real question is, are you there? And here's another number that you absolutely cannot ignore. Video is projected to make up a staggering 82% of all internet traffic. 82%. It's not just another channel anymore. It is the primary language of the internet. If video isn't a core pillar of your strategy, you are on your way to becoming invisible. To really succeed, you need to build a modern, diversified mix. That means mastering short-form video on places like TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. It means exploring connected TV and getting into the audio game with podcasts. And hey, don't forget the proven powerhouses like email or new frontiers like multimodal search, which is just people using their voice or their phone's camera to find things. This is where your audience lives. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important play: agility. The market changes faster than ever before. A rigid annual plan that's set in stone, that is a recipe for becoming irrelevant. The solution is to think in sprints. You plan in quarters, but you always keep your eye on that yearly North Star. This simple cycle is what keeps you sharp. Every single quarter, you review what worked and what didn't, based on cold, hard data. Then, you adjust your tactics, your messaging, your budget. You plan the next 90 days with all those fresh insights. And you're constantly analyzing what your competitors are up to. It's this loop that ensures you're always learning, always optimizing, and always moving toward your goal. And there you have it. 5 plays to build an absolute marketing machine for 2026. Define your goals, own your data, partner up with AI, diversify your channels, and stay agile. The playbook is right here in your hands. So the only question left is, what's your first move?